Welcome, welcome once again to Let's Talk Marriage. This is Pastor Larry coming to you this Wednesday afternoon with Let's Talk Marriage. I hope everyone is doing well. If you woke up this morning, you are doing well and you are blessed. All right, we want to acknowledge all the fathers from this past Sunday, which was Father's Day. Happy Father's Day again to all the fathers and fathers to be. Okay, now let's get right on into our subject. Our subject today is love and happiness. All right. When you've been married for several years, you should know each other, your likes and dislikes, and what you want in life and your goals in life. You should know all these things. If you've been married for a long time, you should have goals set and vision of where you're going in your relationship. The thing about the true love, though, is it's something that never fades. It's like a flame, a never-ending flame. And as long as you can keep the flame or keep the fire kindled, you should do well in your marriage. I'm not saying by far that you're going to have a perfect marriage, because there's no such thing as a perfect marriage. If there was perfect marriages out there, there would not be counselors and marriage counselors and family counselors. Again, make sure that you are enjoying each other as a married couple. A lot of married couples, the flame starts to die down because you don't enjoy each other. You should enjoy each other, and don't let your conversations always be something serious. Or have some fun. Enjoy each other company. And when you find a flame trying to go out, just find ways to rekindle it. You can go walking. You can go on vacation. Take your wife somewhere. Don't just go down the street. And love is not always in the bedroom. Love is outside of the bedroom. That's just part of it. And it's a good part of it, but that's not the only thing that's what marriage is about. Marriage is about a commitment between two people, your commitment to goals, commitment to your dreams, commitment to your vision. And you have a vision in life together, a vision of life of being walking in the same direction or going in the same direction in life. You should always get or have that look of admiration with your wife. Sometimes when they're not looking, you look at them and you adore them. You should always have that. You had it when you first met. When you first met, you couldn't keep your eyes off of them. You was always complimenting. You was always telling them that you love them. Make sure you continue that. There's nothing wrong with just romancing your wife. And some people say, "Oh, marriage ain't no storybook." There's nothing wrong with trying to make it one. There's nothing wrong with you trying to do that. So make sure that we are loving on each other and being with each other and finding ways to keep the flame alive in your marriage. Sometimes we tend to, especially now, the generation now, where everybody is so busy. It's just a busy generation. People are busy pretty much doing nothing. But people are so busy. So make sure you take the time to spend the time, with your spouse. It's not always about money. See, we want to make it always about money. It doesn't cost anything to take a walk. It doesn't cost anything to ride a bike except a little sweat, and that's about it. One songwriter once wrote, love is walking together, love is talking together, love is being together. You can say what you want. Some us strict, real holy roly people, we like to say that, oh, those songs on you. Yeah, but a lot of the songs do tell messages, and they attempt to bring about things that make us aware of what we should be doing as married people. I'm not talking about the ones, for the crazy stuff. I'm talking about the ones that, tell a story and tell us what we should be looking forward in life and how you should be treating your spouse. There's nothing wrong with that. One of the things that you're going to do is, or go through as a married couple, you're going to go through some storms. There's going to be some challenges in your marriage. So don't let those challenges linger on. Don't let those arguments linger on. Because sometimes when there's a disagreement in the marriage, you don't want to take that over into days and then weeks, and then you start thinking other things, and you start getting dramatic and start talking divorce and all that. And a lot of times that all stems from something that was said or an argument. You don't want to go to those places. And if you have some difficulties in your marriages or some challenges that you're not able to overcome, there's nothing wrong with seeking a marriage counselor. Just talk things out. Because sometimes when you have a neutral party there, you can voice your opinions of things that you wanted to say and couldn't say. Because sometimes when you say things, people might not listen to you, but if you have that conversation with a neutral party, you can bring out things that or concerns that you would have had or have in your marriage. There's nothing wrong with that. And a lot of people don't want to, I don't want to see no counselor. Yeah, but that's why they're there for, because, again, there's no such thing as a perfect marriage. So that's why they're there. That's how you grow as a couple, and when you grow as a couple, there's things that you're going to go through it's growing pains in a marriage. And a lot of people say, marriage is hard work. No, it's not hard work. It's what we make it. We can make it hard work. If you make it hard work, sure, it's going to be hard work. If you make it easy, it'll be easy. It's not going to be again, it won't be perfect, but it'll be a lot easier than you always arguing about different things and different subjects. Because you have two different people. Even though they're married, they're two different people that becomes one. In order for you to become one, you have to go through those challenges. You have to have those disagreements, and you have to have those rocky roads. You have to have those challenges in life, those challenges as a married couple. But what you do during those challenges, it makes the marriage last. Some people can be married for 50 years, and some could be married 20 years and walk away from it. But that's being drastic. You don't have to take that drastic step like that. Seek counseling, find out what brought you to that point. Sometimes there's things that you didn't have closure on from your past that comes back up. That's why it's important to put have closure on relationships, especially if you had those toxic relationships. Make sure you had closure with those, because if you don't have closure with those, you could carry that over into another marriage, and you don't want to carry that over, because then you're not going to get the full affection of your spouse. And you want the full affection of your spouse, because you don't want to, every time they say something, you're thinking about the reaction you got from somebody else and how they treated you and what they said to you. And, that's why it's very important to put an end to those things. And sometimes it's not just physically closure, it's mental closure as well. And if you don't have mental closure, it's gonna always come back, and it's always gonna come up. And people, I have always said, people always watch married couples. They, even if you don't know them, if you're in your neighborhood, they watch you. They see. That's why you shouldn't go out and out of the house, leave out of the house yelling at each other. Get on back here. You better not be gone long. You don't do nothing like that. The neighbors are watching you. You might not even see them, but they're looking out the window, because you done got loud. That's another thing. Try not to get loud when you have a disagreement, because if you get loud, then the other person gonna try to get louder than you. Then you're gonna try to get louder than them, and then you both start yelling at each other, and then And if you can't get louder than the other person, you might start throwing stuff. You don't want to go that route. So make sure you learn to disagree. Make sure your disagreements are not escalated, because if they get escalated, then it turns out into a full-blown argument, and you don't want that to happen. And that's part of having love and happiness in your marriage. And having love and happiness in your marriage, it means that you're family orientated. That means that you do things with your family. Don't always try to to get rid of your kids. Some people always trying to get rid of their kids. Learn to take your kids with you sometime. We used to take our kids to places where they didn't have to eat off a tray. Because the only time you take them is when you want to go to McDonald's. But, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But make sure that you take them to places where they are being waited on, and teach them how to order from the menu, so that way they'll know that there's other places you can do, and take them to cultural things, like to museums and things like that, and explain some of the stuff with them, especially people of color. Make sure to take them to the African American museums and let them know their history, because a lot of us young or the young people today, they don't know their history. They don't know what our people went through, our ancestors went through, in order for them to get to where they are today. They don't realize how it was to sit in the back of the bus. And when I was coming up, it used to bother me and I used to do it myself. You get on the bus and go right to the back. I couldn't figure out. That was crazy. But make sure that we are teaching our young people. And, you see on the news all these young people downtown doing crazy things. Because I came from a single family home. But my mother was on it. We didn't go and do crazy stuff like that because we didn't want to hear it from my mother, and because I didn't want to hear nobody fussing. I don't like people fussing, and she could fuss and bring stuff over and over and just say the same thing over and over. And I told you, and like I said, you don't want to hear them words. But that's all part of having love and happiness in your family, and having that affection in your home. When you can sit and talk to your children, make sure you sit and talk to your children. Teach them. That's the whole thing ideal now. The parents are not teaching their children like they used to. And when you teach them, you can teach them by your actions too, how you interact with you and your spouse. Your children will see that, and they'll know that they're not supposed to get no man that's going to be yelling at them, or they'll know that they're not going to get no woman that's, just wilding out. Some of these folks just be wilding out, Make sure that you show them affection, how they should be treated, That's why now I take my daughter out and stuff and show her how a gentleman should treat her, so that way she won't settle. That's why a lot of these women settle for anything, because they haven't been trained that they don't have to settle for anything, You don't have to settle for anything. You don't have to settle for anybody, As a married couple, showing love and happiness in that family, make sure that you're doing things together, even when they get grown. Make sure that you. I know some people that they're grown, and a lot of times when they go travel, a lot of the kids come with them. They bring their spouses with them and their grandkids, and they all travel together. There's nothing wrong with that. Get an Airbnb somewhere, and in Florida, California, somewhere, and just make it a family thing. And that's how you show love and happiness. And make sure we are respecting each other, boundaries, and make sure that we don't put our spouses in uncomfortable predicaments, by doing stuff and they don't know nothing about it. Well, where do you come from? Oh, who is this? Folks just showing up. Oh, I forgot to tell you they were coming over. You done took off your shoes and, and all of a sudden they knock on the door. Who is this? you know, and then they come over, especially y'all religious folks or y'all super saved folks. We haven't Bible study. Ain't told your husband nothing, especially the ones with the unsaved husband. They ain't told them nothing that you got all these folk coming over for Bible study. He getting ready to relax and watch the ball game, and all these sisters come knocking on the door. We here for the Bible study. Oh, he's like, wait a minute, you ain't tell me nothing about this. That's how you know, because you know what, if you have a spouse and he's not in church and he's still there with you and he's respect you and respect you going to church and stuff, there's nothing wrong with that's still your king, you know, and you can win him with your love and he could be saved by your salvation. Just make sure that you do what you're supposed to do as a Christian woman and keep that love and happiness. He one of them ones that do anything for you but go to church. You know what? Just keep praying for him, the Lord to bring him in, you know. But don't be bringing those surprises on him. Oh, wait, there's a family and friends day. You going, you know. Tell them ahead of time, you know, it's family and friends there. I really need you there. I'm going to be speaking, you know. And then he'll show up, you know, he'll come with you to support you. Make sure that we are doing that. Make sure we are showing love and keeping that love. But when was the last time you told your spouse that you love them? Make sure you tell them that all the time. Tell them where they get tired of hearing it. I love you. I love you. You know, and don't just say it, love you. Love you. You know, say it like you mean it, you know, and keep that love alive in your marriages and keep the love and happiness in your marriage. Love it's simple, and marriage is, you can make it simple. It's how you make it. A lot of people say being married is so hard. No, it's not hard. You know, if you work at it the right way and if you do the right things and you use the word of God and you use put the Lord first in your marriage. Even if your spouse is not saved, you can still put the Lord first in your marriage. And they'll see that you're consistent. They'll see that you're not just staying home when you get, they say, oh, she always go to church. That's her routine. She go every Sunday. And one of those days he'll, you know, just keep asking him, are you going with me today? Don't get mad when he say no. Just say, okay, well, maybe you go next time. You know, just something like that. And then who knows, he might surprise you. You know, and if he just go on your birthday and Christmas and Mother's Day, that's fine. You know, you getting him there. He's a work in progress. This is Pastor Larry signing off. Make sure that you keep the love and happiness in your family. Until we meet again, this is Pastor Larry saying, let's talk marriage.